Okay, day 4, productivity hacks, tools, powerful tools that you could be using each and every day in order to amp up both your productivity and your results. Now, we talked about the Pareto rule, which is something that if I were you, I'd be writing it out and posting it on your wall because it's that profound. It talks about the fact that 80% of your outcomes is going to come from 20% of your activities. So this is not only a study of goals or of productivity, but it's overall a study of kind of the universe and the way that the universe works is that 80% of outcomes really only come from about 20% of the effort people put in or the activities that they put that effort toward. So if you knew that 80% of your outcomes is only going to come from 20% of that very long to-do list that you have, wouldn't you spend time and get focused on what those 20% are, how you determine that? How do you measure, the value and the impact of each of your activities? Which activities can I be delegating, deleting, or delaying, and leaving only the core that's going to give me that 80% to work on? How much breath, how much space, how much sanity would that, give you? Tons, right? Tons. So these productivity hacks are kind of built around ensuring that you have the discipline, you have the processes, you have the habits and routines, and you have the hacks that can help you as well take advantage of that 20% to give you 80%. Okay. So let's walk through your one pager for today and discuss kind of what it is that you could be doing right now to really start embedding these into your day in, day out routine. Okay. So if you click on this photo link, you can actually download the ebook, the Productivity Hacks ebook. Now, bonus, we only discussed 4 or 5 of the hacks today. The ebook actually has 9 hacks for you, along with templates that you could be using to support that particular hack or those 2 or 3 hacks that you choose to want to start working on and embedding into your day in, day out. All right. So you can download your workbook there. Then we would talk through the action items. And of course, it ends with you taking a video of your experience today, any takeaways that you've had, any of the hacks that you're going to be using in your work or in your life, and then posting it into the Shift to Riches group, because you could win. You could win an Amazon gift card. You could win a Shift to Riches journal. You could win a 3-month coaching sponsorship with me. All right. So those are your action items. Then I outline the hacks that we went through and give you the overall brief description of each of the hacks. And then right here, you could be keying in, your result, your answer, your response, your calculation. So for instance, for revenue generation management, that's where you're calculating your hourly value. And that hourly value is what your work is valued at in order to achieve your revenue or income goal for a year. And so, right here, you could be putting in, okay, so what is that revenue or career income goal that I have? There's roughly 2,080 working hours in any given year. And that means that my hourly value is roughly, 48.33, I think it is, but it's $50. So now you have a decision point that anytime you pick up your pen, your computer, a book, whatever the case might be, the phone, you now can decide, is this activity that I'm about to work on going to generate $50 for me today? Now, obviously, it might not be today, but for instance, if you're, opening up your computer and you're spending, a half hour on Facebook, that's not generating $50 for you today, tomorrow, or next week, unless it's something like what we're doing here. Unless it's something that's leading you or leading your potential customers toward, working with you, buying from you, buying your product or service, whatever the case might be. So you then have a decision. Well, am I opening my computer and working on Facebook to socialize and to just kind of, look through what the world's up to today? Or am I doing it for a marketing and prospecting perspective? And if it's the latter, great, keep moving. If it's the former and it's just to kind of, catch up and share some photos that are funny, then you need to say, well, wait a minute, I'm about to lose $50 or even 25 for 30 minutes of an hour. Okay. So it's a great decision-making tool of that $50, right? If there's all of a sudden an activity or a task that you could be actually hiring somebody on Fiverr for $10 or Upwork for $25 to get that task done, well, then that's a decision point. I should be delegating that off. I should be hiring somebody else. Or you might say, well, you know what? It's not a priority until next month. So I'm not even going to pay attention to it. I'm going to kind of, to pull out the most impactful actions off my to-do list. And I'm going to leave that there, but I'm going to put it in the drawer and not look at it until I need to be looking at it. So great decision-making point. Okay. So each of these are somewhat similar in that they're providing you, again, self-awareness. They're providing you information about yourself and about the goals that you have for yourself and what it's going to take to achieve them, to where then you could be, adjusting the way you approach your work, the way you make decisions, the way that you do delegate, the way that you do prioritize, the way that you do make investments, the way that you do make decisions on hiring, whatever the case might be. Okay. So then I do I asked you today during the session, what are the 1 to 3 challenges you face when it comes to you staying productive, you staying focused, and you staying in the moment to get, whatever you've laid out for the day completed. And so I want you to capture it here as well. Really think through what are your biggest challenges when it comes to being productive. And then I want you to look through the hacks and look through all 9 of them. Now that you have all of them, look through all 9 of them and say, I wonder which one, would solve one or more of my challenges. Is it time blocking? Is it understanding my productivity profile, when I work best and how I work best? Is it my riches generation management, which is all centered around your goals? Which one or more would really help make me a better producer, a massive producer, a revenue generator, and a abundance creator? Because that's the ultimate goal. And then, then you'd have those listed here. And you can keep this. I keep reminding you that you can save these 1-pagers, and in a month, 3 months, 6 months from now, you can come back and go, I wonder what I was challenged with, 3 months, 6 months ago, but I'm now no longer challenged with them because I embedded these new hacks into my routine and I've overcome that, or at least I have something that I can lean on to address this situation I get myself into where I lose focus, or I get stuck, or I get really unorganized, or I just get really kind of blank and I need a tool to kind of get me back on track. That's what all of these hacks will do for you as you move forward. All right. So take a look throughout your 1-pager and keep in mind that Pareto rule. Because I'll tell you what, now that I know, but had I known throughout my entire career that 80% of my outcomes was only going to come from 20% of my effort, of, the tasks and the work and that long to-do list that I had, then, that would have given me so much more just breath and room to kind of create, and it would just give me take off so much stress and burden from myself and give me a lot more confidence in knowing that I actually can attain that goal that I've laid out for myself. So for anyone that is kind of overwhelmed, stressed out, or thinking that you may have defined a goal that you can attain, ensure before you go and kind of write it off and give up on it, ensure that you've put all the productivity all the effectiveness, all the time management type of things in place, the systems, the processes, the practices, the hacks in place to that could allow you to actually get yourself in a structure that would actually allow you to attain the goal that you laid out for yourself. All right. So work through your hacks, post your video on the Shift to Riches group page, and then come back tomorrow at noon Eastern time, because we're getting into not a lot of backstory, but some backstory as far as how did I come about with this 5-step Shift to Riches formula, after having collapsed on the pavement of my local dog park on a run in a pool of shame and despair and embarrassment and guilt and a bunch of ugly, nasty things. But yet it led to, this Shift to Riches formula that we'll walk through tomorrow at noon Eastern time. All right. So everybody, or you, have a nice evening, and I will look forward to having you tomorrow at noon Eastern. Bye. Have a nice night.